Beyond the stage, yes. Hey, Lily.
Hey,
Yeah,
Lily, how are you?
doing well. How are you guys?
Yeah, doing great. It's our first live stream, so took a while to figure everything out, but finally it's all coming together. So I'm waiting now for Alex.
Yeah, I think Alex is going to join, and maybe someone else from our team also. I think we're still trying to figure out the streaming stuff also.
All right, yeah,
Really nice.
no worries. So I guess generally we'll go through some recent updates that we had with Loomlay. We also would like to touch on Clanker developments, how it basically evolved from starting from Warpcast and then being this go-to launcher on base, and how AI agents had an impact on its development. And I guess we'll do some showcasing of this new stuff that we added to our agents, and at the end we'll have another guest, and we'll basically discuss more how AI agents would impact businesses through being co-pilots, and basically give perhaps a general guidelines for products and people willing to start their AI agents, just how to get started. All right, so
I think we need to wait for a couple more minutes. Yeah.
I've pinged Alex, so
Yeah, I don't think it's a huge issue right now. So just Darius has introduced the agenda. Oh, so Alex is coming. So that's nice. That's nice. Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Hey
Yeah.
guys, I just was struggling to get in this StreamYard site, but I'm here. What's up?
Yeah, all good, all good. Really excited to Clanker. I think, yes, I haven't launched so many Clankers in my life in a single day.
Well, now you know what Lily and I feel like every day working at a launch pad. Yeah, excited to chat. Thanks for hosting us, and let's take it away.
All right, so I guess we could perhaps start from the humble beginnings of Clanker. Maybe you could share how it all started. Well, and we could move forward.
Totally. I mean, I do think Clanker had humble beginnings because it was me and Jack, and we were totally just building an experiment. I met Jack this summer at a Farcaster meetup. He seemed like a great guy. I was kind of on the hunt for a co-founder secretly, but I didn't try to come on too strong. And after kind of hacking away a bit, we decided that it would be really good to spend a week in person, full time, going after it. And what it was, we had no idea. So this Sunday before that week, I called Jack on the phone and kind of proposed this idea that I had. Agents were just becoming a big kind of meta in crypto. And I had kind of a weird idea for something that isn't Clanker today, but included all the basic functionality that Clanker has. Jack was game. We borrowed my mom's office. So we went into downtown Boston and we used this office, and it was really fun. We just would build in the morning, at lunch, maybe we'd run out and grab some food. I knew Jack was a good guy when he offered to get my mom lunch. He walked over to her desk, and we just shipped it. We really just built it. It took 5 days. By Wednesday, we had the bot launching tokens in the feed in natural language. On Thursday, Jack started building out the front end, and Friday was mainly testing. I had lunch with a friend on Friday who's kind of a mentor, and he was giving me criticism kind of about all the things that I had built that year. And I was talking to him about, how I had all these ambitions but hadn't gotten there yet. And then I went home and we launched Clanker. I think we've done now like 2.4 billion in volume, probably a little. Across all of our tokens, we have many, many wonderful interface partners. And I've been lucky enough, we've been lucky enough to hire people like Lily, who's joined our team. Lily was the 4th kind of full-time member of our team. It's, me, Jack, my co-founder, Jack Dishman, Bryce, and Lily. And then we have several other wonderful part-time contributors. So yeah, that was how it started.
Wow. Well, that's I've been following Clanker's journey like from, I think I saw it on Farcaster a long time ago, and yeah, back then I thought, man, that's brilliant.
I'm glad you love it. I'm glad you're building on it too.
Yeah, and I think like moving towards when we talk about Web3 adoption, how more people are gonna start using crypto. So probably like these AI agents, like this new interface between Web3 and and users that like really simplify what can be achieved. Like it just cuts that learning curve, I know, tenfolds, so that anyone wanting to to perform some actions is able to do it via agent. So yeah, it's really cool that you guys came up with it, and it's kind of where we also moving now with Loomlay to kind of aggregate as many protocols as possible and to enable agents to build and to agents to use those protocols seamlessly for users.
Yeah, I was talking to someone yesterday and I described Clanker as a social technology. There's like this technical element, which is, that's what Lily does. Lily's building out a really robust permissionless protocol, on Uniswap v3 and then Uniswap v4. And also then there's all this other stuff happening on the back end. There's APIs, basically everything that brings together different projects that do things on chain, on social feeds. And then there's also this community element where like, I just view crypto as being quite small still. We have a small user base. We have a huge opportunity to grow by making crypto show up in way more relevant ways to users in social networks. And I'm really excited to see how agents play a role there. They can help users do a lot of complicated things very easily.
Well, yeah.
We definitely try to prioritize making our on-chain code accessible and easy to use, even by agents, or just like people who also just want to vibe code, or just like don't want to like do the nitty-gritty solidity on-chain parts. We just want to abstract away the difficulties to make it easy for like anyone to like deploy a token and interact with the fees or just swap on-chain. So like, yeah, we love getting agents involved because they're one of our target like customers and consumers also.
Oh yeah, I've seen, like you guys had nice API. That's going to really like make it easier, but also the interface of the contract. Now with your latest release, like you made it permissionless. So I think that now opens a new window of opportunities, because like so far it was mainly like allow list and only like let's say whitelisted interfaces or agents could launch it. And now, since like any wallet can launch it, so it's possible to create there was the story, like how tokens are launched, like this latest biggest one, DRB, from when Grok launched it, and so it really took over.
Oh, well, yeah. I mean, I think this is a good example. Like, can I just tell a little bit of the backstory here? This is basically two different agents came together. By this point, when we launched Clanker was an individual agent. I thought of him like a guy, like a robot guy who's kind of a little bit of a schlub, like he was kind of like outdated, leaking oil, but also did one thing really well, so well that everyone was using him. And Banker's kind of like the hot new robot. Banker comes into town, he's got all these fancy on-chain features. And so, Deployer reached out and said, hey guys, I'm deploying on X. We were really excited. We, right after launch, we came to X and it was like, whoa, there's all these CT people here that we haven't really been talking to because we're these Farcaster nerds who built it. And so we were excited to get out into that network. And we paired up with Deployer and said, you should just be an interface on Clanker. This was kind of when we were still exploring this protocol vision, trying to figure out how does this work? How do we align interests and split fees? And, Banker went live, and I believe that Banker was token gated at first. So you needed 5 million Banker tokens to launch tokens via Clanker's backend. And some enterprising MFer, which is like this network of it's these guys who like all have a certain NFT as their profile picture. And they've been very helpful for us without any kind of overt coordination. They just kind of get the opportunity and pursue it on their own right. And one of them sent the Grok Privy Wallet 5 million Banker tokens so that Grok,
so that's how.
Yeah, so that when Grok talked to Banker and suggested these token names, Banker would respond. And it, it was like a guy kind of started the conversation between these agents. And that's really usually how it happens. There's been a ton of debate around this, like the provenance of different coins. That's for like the on-chain historians to decide. We built something. I didn't make this happen. Jack didn't, Lily didn't. But when it did happen, it was kind of beautiful. It happened really late at night. I woke up to someone posting on X, Grok clanked. And I was like, what? It was crazy. But the coin wasn't even that big yet. It was below $1 million market cap. And I tweeted, like, I can't believe you guys are letting me buy this below $1 million market cap.
Wow. Yes, it has been an insightful story. Like, I guess it's what's kind of interesting about it is how people try to build technology around, add additional capabilities to AI agents when those AI agents don't even have it. Well, what I mean is, so when AI agents are on social media, so it just allows this interaction between multiple AI agents, and there's no need for like API calls, integrations, nothing. And all of that just can come smoothly and, can create eventful days, per se.
I mean, this is a huge opportunity. I think people overestimate how functional most agents are. Banker has, had some features live that I haven't really seen elsewhere. Things like limit trades, social distribution, so being able to tag a user and send them tokens. But these bots really are not, you're kind of taking this amazingly powerful tool and putting it in this new context. And it wasn't built for it, but now we're building it. And you guys are working on this. You're building out this framework for individuals to be able to do a lot on chain and to have agents that are kind of, as I understand it, getting more powerful over time. Like you're adding on different functionality.
Oh yeah, we do it. Well, there's just been such a big progress in terms of what agents are now capable from the start when we launched back in January. So now essentially they have access to the whole DeFi suite. There are like powerful plugins for like token analysis.
Yep.
And with this latest release that we have, it will allow to create agents that manage wallets that user granted permission to trade on behalf of them, basically to use Web3. Nick here.
Yeah, I'm here.
So he was actually just trying to play around with Clanker and Banker. So it wasn't his. Well, basically, maybe Nick, you take it from there. What were your experiments, and how did they end up with?
Actually, yes. Back to Alex's introduction story, like he mentioned, Clanker, it was an experiment with my friend. Yeah, we just started with the experiment, and I love experiments at all. And yes, during the experiment, couple days, more than 1 week ago, I just launched a token. Just like,
yeah.
The initial idea was very simple. So just like I was really inspired by the Grok and Banker interaction, and that that Grok was able to create tokenized value for the community. But I started digging deep in the story. I had some talks on X with a few guys who are pushing this story hard, and I realized that just like Grok need more permissions to manage that assets. And the idea was, what if I can create another AI agent based on the Loomlay framework that can simply negotiate, interact with Banker, and not only limited to Banker, but with AI XBT and Quantel, such as analytical tools, which is implemented through AI agents. And they together can create a multi-agentic world without any involvement of the human. This was an experiment. And just like I tweeted that guys, this is an experiment. I'm trying to create something like this. It's just like was really tiny in my perception at the time. And the community reacted really interesting to that. They started supporting what my agent created. And this, like what I can say, it was kind of a tsunami, which like I wasn't able even to manage that experiment anymore.
Yeah.
At one point,
the community has been like,
the experiment went out of the control. And okay, what did you do?
How many agents do you guys have? Or like, what has the community been doing so far with the agents?
Sorry?
Oh, okay. Well, so far, yeah. So it was the only thing that was done is this interaction between Clanker and Banker, and like the whole road. There was no roadmap for it. Well, I guess it wasn't as detailed as it's like it was just a pure token launch through it. And then, well, we decided to think what can we do with it? How can we make it more interesting? And then I realized there's this one piece of like missing technology that we just need to develop, which would allow to create these agents that can, once users delegate their wallets, those agents could do interactions with them, like something similar with Banker. So that's what I guess we managed to do. It's now at this early, well, it's not public yet, but maybe Nick can send a tweet or something, and we'll try to check if we'll manage to do a cross-chain swap on Twitter.
Yeah, exactly.
And what we have added to it is, so basically this new agent will be, it's called SMC, Smart Money Controller. So it will be able to perform those swaps, I don't know, transfer stuff, and then create other more advanced strategies with conditional trading, like not to just execute trades like just with limit orders, but to monitor various, I don't know, maybe those could be news on Twitter, those could be
Well, yeah, 'cause, like,
spikes on volume, like other off-chain stuff.
Can basically each user control the agent, so they can, it's up to the users, really.
Yeah, exactly. So that's basically the beauty of it, that so this foundation that we have now, it will allow us to have these for agent to create like conditional transactions, you know, like agents could say, if there is a spike, let's say in volume, and there are mentions on Twitter, and the price has increased by 5%, so that would then trigger the transaction. So agent itself can create these custom strategies for every user. So that's what this smart money controller will become.
So,
yeah.
you guys basically are testing what you're thinking about releasing soon. Like SMC, Smart Money Controller, was an alpha, and you have a central coin, and now you're working on building this out to offer it to many users. Is that correct?
Yeah, I would say so. But the beauty of it is that anyone could create their own, with Loomlay stack, anyone could create their own, let's say,
logic.
Rules,
like
it won't be just logic rules, but create their own agent that can serve users. So it's like one agent, multiple users. And if you have an amazing strategy or something that works, you can create a separate agent, offer it to users, and then the monetization of it would come from like trading fees that agent does. And additionally, there'll be subscription just to keep using the agent.
Cool. Yeah, I mean, that's one thing I've been thinking a lot about, is like a lot of projects are giving retail users access to more and more advanced tooling. Oftentimes there's, like enterprise level infrastructure. I've talked to a bunch of teams that are paying huge, bills associated with operating and building out agents. So
it allows to create this fast prototyping. That's, I guess, the beauty of it. Like,
it's so cool.
Like as a user, I would love having like more trade automation, just because like I'm not awake 24/7, and it's hard to like, I don't want to like look at the charts all day. So having an agent help me with that would be like awesome and a time saver.
Yeah, may I ask?
Yeah.
Answer, sorry. Yeah, this is a good question, Lily. And actually the beauty of this, then just like you can prompt your agent, let's say just like the SMC controller, to communicate with trusted agents like AIXBT, just like or Quantel based on Loomlay framework too. So just like you don't need even just like to provide him signals or just like commands to trade. You just need to give him a direction whom to communicate with, and this money controller for you will analyze income information from trusted agents and will make a decisions buy or not. This is possible to do that. And this is not only the way. There are from prompting, which is like much more flexible in setting, just like how you want to interact, how you want to make it to interact. So just like maybe you wanted to receive some notifications from the agent with approval before making a transaction, it's also possible. So just like definitely there is no one answer to this question, but what I can say, it's possible, yes, not to be 24/7 just online behind the screen and watching the charts, but try with the agent.
I mean, yeah, I'd say there's also one challenge with working with agents. Well, especially when you create it. Although it does sound like often it does sound really simple. Well, it is simple when agent is already created and you interact with it. But it's another story when you try to actually create it and well, basically to create it from scratch per se. And that's another thing we want to address with this smart money controller, is to allow it to create other agents, basically. So allow smart controller to create your custom private AI agents for you. And we had this thingy, well, new feature that we added already. So it's in our builder, we had a way to create a prompt, well, create instructions for like agent workflow. And like in, I guess, in coming few weeks, we'll have a release where the smart money controller would leverage this tool, and all you would need to ask, create me a, I don't know, sniper agent for Clanker, and it could build out all the workflows, and all you would need is just publish, and then you can either use it yourself or already put it, basically offer it for other people to use.
This is so cool. You know, I think one thing the Clanker team talks about is like anything we're building, you know, it's like how we package it. And so we're starting to work on our V4, which is like our next big upgrade. Lily's leading that project. And we're essentially like thinking of a Launchpad as this set of, it could actually be infinitely expanding features, right? So maybe you want a buyback and burn mechanism that, or maybe you want a buyback and send, you know, send tokens to like your wife function. Who knows, right? Everyone will have their own, you know, feature requests. And so we can continually expand these. And if we package them and build a really strong network of teams like Loomlay, which has access to a bunch of people experimenting with AI, then people will iterate around these features. And it's just this wonderful kind of like melting pot of, you know, it shows us like which way to point our curiosity and capabilities on chain. And then we see what the market likes, what they don't like, and we can keep going. And I've just seen so much happen through these kind of collaborations. Like Banker is a good example. Loomlay seems like another. Like you'll probably be surprised by some of the stuff your users build in the coming months.
Oh yeah, yeah. Like everything you just accelerating.
Yeah, it's getting faster and faster. I don't think that's stopping. I mean, like Lily has a bunch of MEV expertise, and we're just starting to hear a little bit more about the MEV stuff that might be possible on L2s in the future. And that is so exciting. It opens up this whole new design space. But that's a whole tangent. I don't know.
Yeah, the goal is just to reroute a lot of the value that's being captured by, I guess, like infrastructure providers back to like the users or the transactors in the ecosystem or the actual users. So yeah, like at Clinker, it's really important to us to like optimize the fee capture to reward the people who are actually a part of our ecosystem and not people who were not, such as like snipers or outside participants. So yeah, at Clinker, we're very excited to just expand our ability to reward our users over the long run.
Yeah, I also love your approach, how you had with Clanker because you enable to have a revenue share from the fees, like something that other launchpads probably not doing well. And it also allows to create like this more, I guess, sustainable business models, and as well like to incentivize, I guess, developers. What was the idea behind it? What was it initially there, or how did you get?
I would say like actually the agent came after the fee kind of idea, the idea for this fee split. I've seen Uniswap V3 produce really powerful fees just personally as like an LP, but all throughout last year I realized that almost no one knew how to LP. Like very, very few users felt comfortable doing this more complex DeFi stuff. And even when they did it or like tried to learn it, it still just seemed way too complicated. And so I noticed that, with the rise of Pump is the easiest example. They were burning the LP. Zora is another good example. When Zora first launched their ERC 1155 extensions, they were creating Uni V3 pools and burning them, which is just, it's like value is lost. It makes no sense to me. They've since post Clanker updated their, they no longer do that, obviously, because you can't even claim the fees if you do that. So anyway, it just seemed like this tremendous value that was either being ignored or extracted kind of to an individual or to like the best LP that would come into the pool. And my personal view is that one element of acceleration is it's no longer just about the coin. It's also about the app the coin launches on, which will be kind of the vehicle for the coin to get attention. That's what Pump did. I think we're going to see that more and more and more, and it's going to be intensely competitive. So I wanted to incentivize app development. We wanted to fund teams from any attention they got, in part because we didn't give them any coins. Now, you have the ability to set aside a token allocation, but it felt even more important when we launched. And also, we had no money. No one gave us money to build this, and it was our revenue stream. And I really wanted our revenue to be aligned with coins that performed better over longer periods of time. And it's not that, we earn no money from a coin that like pumps and dumps, but we earn way less. Like the vast majority of our ETH comes from coins that perform well over time. And it means that like we care. Like we care about SMC token because that token's success is tied to our success. Our success will hopefully have some benefit for SMC token. And that just felt like a very powerful incentive alignment between all of these various parties in a token launchpad ecosystem.
Yeah, I totally agree. It does create incentive for developers also, because it kind of aligns them more with the token holders as well. Like, as long as they don't abandon the project, so the fees can keep flowing in. And also, speaking of Loomlay, yeah, so I also started pretty much, well, it was just self-funded. We didn't raise any funds, and having ability to get fees from trading, so had made a significant impact on where we're now, and just helped us to keep building and pushing the product forward. So yeah, I do love your approach towards it.
It's like I've seen this work for now like 4 months. I've seen it work for a bunch of different teams. I had a call right before this with someone who's launching on Clanker, and I said, "Why are you launching on Clanker?" And he said, "I have been building a project that I think has value. I've been building it for multiple years as a, in it, like after work, right? This is just a dev who has a full-time job, and he wants to see if this project can become his main work, his main focus. He wants to build in crypto on Base, on, social networks. And so he's doing it with Clanker because he knows that if he can get some attention with Clanker, he'll make money. And that is very powerful. And we should be careful with it. We should not talk about or boost people who like farm fees from users, but we should 100% make our speculative trading productive of apps. Like that to me is very powerful.
Yeah, indeed. Well, we have now a new special guest.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's Avi from Zerion.
Hey, I was just listening to the conversation here. Big fan of Clanker as well, and I think I met a couple team members here in New York. But yeah, excited to be here.
Oh,
Yeah.
Hey, Alex.
Yeah, happy to have you here too. So Abby was actually one of our early adopters.
Yeah.
I guess, yeah. And so yeah, I just want to ask you, like, how do you find the process of agent development? Like, what was your experience when you first started building an agent? And
yeah, no, good question. So I'll actually maybe tie this to Clanker in a bit as well. But I'll start by saying we have been experimenting internally at Zerion with just having team members build agents for fun since last year. And I remember in September and October, we tried to build agents on Eliza. We used a couple other frameworks. And I think what was different back then was that you actually needed to be technical. So I remember for Eliza, I actually had to still understand, how to work with GitHub repos and find plugins externally myself and plug it in. Nothing was intuitive. So that was a big barrier to entry. And I think what changed and what clicked is now I shared, I think in early January, Loomlay internally. And it was just different. The way anyone could actually build a reply agent on Twitter or something very niche, even something that I don't know, scans for yield opportunities, right? Using our API or another API. I think that was a big shift. And I'll say the same for Clanker, right? Anyone being able to launch a token quite easily. We had an offsite recently, and I think my co-founder, he launched a Chamonix token on Clanker because we had the offsite in Chamonix. So it's just really funny. We could now play around with just having more fun on chain in a very easy to use manner. So I think that was the first aha moment for me personally. And the other thing, I think CZ tweeted about this recently, and I agree with that. He was not every AI agent needs to have a token. So I like the fact that I've now started recommending, some other B2B companies that are exploring just like how do we build like a fun intern bot, right? For example, to just like use Loomlay, because like you don't need a token for that. It's just like a tech problem that needs a tech solution that doesn't need to have any speculation around it. So I guess like, yeah, that's another part that I liked, because I feel like a lot of the agents in crypto try to like, push speculation into every use case.
Yeah,
Which
no,
doesn't
and
really need.
I totally agree. It's like, I mean, we're a launchpad. We like tokens, full transparency, but like AI 16Z, right? In sometimes I forget that he has a token, and I feel like his actual like utility is social. His power is social. What power that agent
100%.
has. And so I would encourage like anyone who is building with tokens to really consider like, okay, in a world where this kind of goes up and then goes down and no one cares, because that's how the market often works, how do you then think about driving value to your token? Because it will put you in the perspective of a potential buyer. And we should always be thoughtful about our users. So yeah, it's like there's going to be so many agents. Many will have tokens, many will not. It's going to be beautiful.
For sure.
Oh yeah, and
I think I was talking to Bryce from your team, Alex, about this exact same point like last month.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think it's nice. Like I would be more curious to see how, I guess like one thing we don't talk about a lot is like risks. So like maybe risks both in terms of like how do like agents that don't have speculative use cases monetize, but also like now that we see more agents get ownership of actions, like say like trusting an agent to like own a wallet and delegate, like we've started to see that more, right? I guess like, yeah, curious to hear maybe opinions on risks here in general. Like what are the biggest
Oh
risks
man. Well,
we need to be aware of as a crypto
yeah.
company? Yeah.
Well, I don't know. We saw this with Grok. Like Grok was not built to manage wallets.
Yeah.
And so a user was able to essentially trick Grok into sending out ETH from their banker wallet. I think that different agents are going to be really good for different things. Like if I have a tokenized project, like a live project, live token, maybe it has some revenue, I think one of the first things I would do is likely fund a agent that does not have a wallet or a token to do things that my very important project agent might not do. Like I think we need to really narrowly scope anything that has access to any like secure backend. Lily, I feel like you're honestly the better person to answer this.
I'm always like interested in like, where is this agent being ran or hosted? Like, is it in a TEE somewhere? Is it just on someone's like local machine? Like, what is the actual control flow around the agent and how the agent interacts with whatever wallet it controls? Like, those are the normal questions I ask when I'm trying to like interact with an agent that I'm trusting. It just, what am I trusting when I trust this agent? I guess at Loomlay, like, do you guys run the agents locally somewhere? Do users run the agents? What does the hosting environment look like?
Oh, so it is being orchestrated on our backend. So users don't have to basically host anything, rather than they create a set of workflows, and then we run all the like crons, manage the authentication, do the necessary checks, and for example, in case of wallet management, so we use smart wallets, and now with this recent integration, we got Privy, so we don't have the access to private keys.
And I think for your audience, this is very much helpful, right? They don't want to manage a lot of it themselves.
We do want to make it as seamless as possible for just user to create it, and I guess in the near future, we'll create like open source version of this agent that you can build and then self-host it. But at the moment, we we want to focus on removing friction on creation of the agent itself, because even with no code solution, there are like hurdles that user needs to like overcome. Still need to have like this programmatic thinking, well, to think as developer, how workflows are being triggered per se.
Or the progression to being like trustless or like permissionless is like always like a long journey. Like Clanker, we're just now starting to get to like permissionless deploys, but that's taken us a while. So I feel like it's very normal to start in one spot and move towards the direction of lower trust environments.
Well, yeah, that's for sure. And I've been started seeing more like infrastructure projects offering this more trustless hosting of agent execution, like because it's one thing to have stuff on chain, but some stuff just doesn't run on chain. So how do we make it more trustless well, without inventing a blockchain or something else?
I mean, I think like there are two problems here, right? One is a technical problem, and then one is like, does anyone care problem? And one thing that I'm really excited about is helping technical people solve the does anyone care problem, because crypto, can do this like Zerion API can tap you into a huge array of DeFi activities. But for most people in the world, the question is still why. And so making these products, kind of packaging them socially and making them relevant to either creators or devs and founders, or just, a guy who maybe bought a little bit of Bitcoin, or a woman who holds a little bit of ETH. Like that's, to me, a huge part of like what we can do is help make these products legible to more and more people with every week. And let's get the tech trustless, but let's make sure we're doing it like because people are demanding that we do it, not because we're trying to be purists.
Definitely, like both solutions people actually use. I think like just to jump on that, like I think what we've done well as an industry in the last 4 years is like we've been able to like build, like what Alex said, like complex Web3 data in pretty much every vertical. Like we have amazing infrastructure solutions. Like launching a chain is as simple as just, deploying something on Caldera. Like we have infrastructure, but as an end user, for me, where like just AI in general, but also products like Clanker and Loomlay really help the most is to like transform this complex Web3 data into like actionable insights. So if you're a developer, if you're a trader, if you're, someone who's just like an employee working in a company in crypto, like you're able to take more confident, informed decisions. Obviously now we're at a stage where it's all like human driven, but I can definitely see this going, like I guess the next stage would be like where like it's kind of like humans are in the loop, but then like in the long run it's like fully autonomous. So kind of like how do we move from this like trust-based to trustless environment? It's probably like going to involve a lot of building for problems that don't necessarily exist now, but will exist in the near future. So even predicting that is tricky. But yeah, like I think Alex hit the nail on the head there. For us as a wallet, like that's why we're even interested. Like it's like, oh, like you say you buy a token on Clanker, right? And the token's up 300%. Like it's often like the case if you buy in the first few minutes, like you kind of miss out on like a sell opportunity, right? So like as a wallet, we might have the data like on how you usually trade in the past. Like you usually sell maybe 50% of a token when it's up 3x. That's just like your principled way to trade. That's the example where we can use simple AI to just like predict and give you a nudge to like, hey, like you usually sell at this point. Maybe you should place a trade, or maybe, hey, like someone else is like doing a trade that they're buying in a much bigger size than they usually do, like, and the wallet's on your watch list. Maybe you should take a look at this certain token, right? So like, how do you use data and AI to like give more relevant decisions so that in the long run, users just retain more in your app and like they convert more to trading? Like that's kind of where we're coming from. So it's, I guess, more of like a problem that's pretty easily solved. And yeah, I know, Darius, we're talking to you guys, we're talking to a lot of people in this space, but very excited to see like kind of like what we can do now. But the long run obviously is like, how can we like maybe automatically rebalance your wallet based on like, criteria that you've just set up? This is pretty much there in the Web2 world, but like, robo advisors and everything else. I think that's kind of where a lot of the wallets will move. Like what Alex said, like, it's kind of inevitable, but we want to make sure we build for problems that exist now, and not like abstract buzzwords in the future.
I think that's so important. Like sometimes people talk to me about agent stuff, and I'm like, man, you are likely 5 years ahead, and I'm probably underestimating how fast things will start to move. But
For sure.
I love it. I think there's like a really huge design space around like agent empowered decisions or actions versus agentic, products that just like function kind of for the user or on behalf of. So I'm excited to see how that shows up in a non-custodial wallet. I think that's super cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, like probably where we're moving now is like most of the like agents on the market, they are, it's like call them like instruction based, that you essentially just tell agent exactly what you want to do. But here in the near future, we'll be moving to more like intent based, where even if you don't know what you want to do, agent will guide you and will create like a strategy or like approach how you can achieve it. So ideally, if I want to earn yield, I would like to just say I want to earn yield, and then so it would maybe check my wallet, check what kind of assets I'm holding from my transaction history, get the my risk appetite per se, and then find protocols that match my assets, match my chain, and match my risk, and then present it. And then all I would have to do is, yes, sir. And so that way, I guess like agents would be like really more useful. So they would be coming from the intent. And probably, yeah, another this big thing, what Abby has mentioned, is the ability to have this conditional trading, where you don't tell agent to trade right now, but rather specify conditions in the market, in the world, that should happen, and only then place a trade. So because now the only kind of companies that are doing it are like serious trading firms, because there's so much overhead from the technology standpoint to just parse everything and do it in a programmatic way. And AI agents can just cut this development journey, I don't know, by tenfold, perhaps, and yeah, we'll have this. It's like I would say we would have even more competitive world. Like if you think about it, like everyone starts using it.
Well, one thing I would say, and guys, I'm sorry, but I have to run after this. It's just like I think when the world gets more competitive, what winning looks like will be more surprising. People won't just be like hyper competing over, who trades the best and there's a leaderboard. It's not like that simple. People are going to surprise us. They're going to be really creative, and we got to give them the tools to do it. And I think if we can do that at scale, we can all win. It's such a pleasure to talk with you guys from Loomlay, and thank you, Lily and Abby. Great to connect here. Hope to chat soon, and thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you. Really happy you came to us.
Yeah. Thank you very much. Exactly.
I wouldn't have missed it, of course.
That's nice. Yeah.
Thanks, Alex. Yeah. I realize we've talked over forecast, but good to good to
Oh,
finally
yes.
sit
Yeah.
here. Yeah.
Talk soon.
All right, guys. Yeah, we'll talk soon. And we'll post more. We'll post a recording of the stream, and well, maybe we can. Do you have a moment for some questions? Maybe.
Yeah, I mean, I actually had something to maybe keep the conversation going, and before we wrap up, like I was curious. So like I'm seeing, I guess like one from what Alex said, it seemed clear like Web3 AI is lagging behind Web2 AI. Like a lot of what we have as AI agents now are really just chatbots that came up in like Web2 AI like a year ago, right? Or 2 years ago. Similarly, I feel like in Web2, like what I saw was a lot of the initial use cases for AI was very much like B2C, like users using ChatGPT. And then it eventually went B2B with like, if you're a user, you're convincing your company to find a use case to like, now do something with AI on like your, on your code base or on your, like marketing team or whatever other level you'd like to see. Like I'm seeing the same thing happening with like AI companies in crypto now. I'm sure with you guys, with Loomlay, you're exploring more B2B directions. I spoke to someone at Eliza, like basically a lot of the companies, they don't have a framework for how to work like on a B2B partnership with crypto companies. And they're still trying to figure that out. Yeah, I'm curious, Darius, like maybe how that's looking for you. And I don't know if there's any like insights so far. Because from what I see, everyone's just trying to build like custom solutions. It's all like there's no template, there's no one size fit all. Like here's what we build, here's
Oh,
how
yeah.
much you pay us. Yeah. So like I'm sure we'll get to that though eventually, and companies will start finding their niche. Yeah.
Yeah, so we're actually been like seeing well from the people that were like the most responsive, probably the ones that are related to trading. So that's where we kind of feel like this have more solid fit, because it makes sense. What, for example, if it's a trading platform, they're like burps or anything like that. When users are more informed or like more confident to make their trades, it can actually translate to more volume to them. So I'd say this like trading category of Web3. So that definitely has solid use cases and probably the most powerful ones. But the ones that are, I feel like, also have will have their time to shine is related to social media management. So we have in our Telegram group, we have our AI agent moderator. So it actually tracks every message. If there is a spam, it deletes it. It lives with people, and well, it's a bit. It has a personality, so sometimes get a kick out of it.
Is it built on Loomlay, your agent?
Yeah, yeah, it was built entirely with Loomlay, and yeah, actually the beauty of it is that it also can be like cloned into any other product, into any other community. Just would need to, so it's not the same agent. Maybe try to add some more, other personality, and then there's a question of like support, what documentation there is available for it to answer to. So yeah, and perhaps another thing that's we have at early development, still prototype, but it's agents that can browse through the websites. So the idea is we have this widget that can pretty much add it to any website. And this widget would have the power to like guide user through the website. So could be a good onboarding tool, like particularly where maybe it's for users maybe that are new to Web3, so that this guided tour here, this is your portfolio, here you can swap and maybe show tooltips, how it's done. And probably, yeah, that might be like AI agents might be that thing that can perhaps open up Web3 to more users, like who are afraid how to use crypto. So
Right. Yeah. So onboarding. So I guess the challenge here for companies like yourself would be to like find a moat and find a business model that scales, right? Like for example, for the moderator bots that you mentioned, like I'm sure a lot of businesses would be willing to pay for that, just given a lot of the manual work involved with like hiring community moderators is now solved. So I guess, yeah, in a way, this just reminds me of like I think in 2023, like the discourse was like, oh, this is just another AI wrapper. Like, why would this company be valued like, $100 million? They just built something on OpenAI, right? Or they're just a wrapper that's like solving a specific use case. But if they have users willing to pay them and the business model scales, like they can be a viable company. So I guess like, yeah, I guess like to summarize then, it seems like you're experimenting in several different directions and you're trying to see what really like can be scaled and sticks, which is probably the right approach here.
Yeah, it goes through like trial and error. So the nearest thing that we'll have is the monetization through agent, let's say runtime. Well, what will be out in the near future is agent marketplace, and then the idea is you as agent creator, you publish your agent to the marketplace. You set up like hourly price tag or like tag, like a rate per minute per se.
You should put it on time.fun so you can actually pay it by the second.
Oh, actually, yeah. Wow.
Really cool.
Yeah, haven't thought of it, but yeah, eventually you as a customer, if agent provides useful service, saves you time, then you could pay it, and that way, as an agent owner, just have these agents that would generate revenue for you. So I guess maybe we could move from like SaaS businesses to like agent businesses, where instead of paying for the suite of for the entire product, you would just hire an agent and it would solve your problems.
Love it. Yeah.
This is so sci-fi. My head's like, what right now? Like,
Yeah.
this is so cool.
I'm literally just Googling if there's a time.fun, but like for AI agents, like imagine like there being a marketplace for like you being able to like pay to access certain agents, and the best modeled agents really like win. Could be something as a cool side hack. Yeah.
Yeah, it's closer than you think.
Yeah.
Right, maybe we can do like a round of community questions, and then we could maybe wrap it up if we.
Yeah, but let's read from the top.
Maybe. What can we see here? Will SMC trade for you?
Yeah, I see a lot of like, I don't know if I'm looking at the right chat, but I see a lot of like Loomlay price discussion, the usual.
Yeah. So the question was, would SMC trade for me? Yeah.
For anyone.
Yeah, for anyone. Yeah. Just like, so basically just like, this is going to happen in a few stages. And on the early stage, we would like to show how SMC will trade based on the signals from Quantel, and it will trade for itself. But later, when we will open the access to SMC to anyone to use it, the SMC definitely will trade for everyone who can delegate him obligations on managing its wallet.
Yeah, I'd say now the only missing part is the wallet connection page. Because now already we did tests, and well, SMC does trades via Twitter requests. It's only whitelisted now for developers. But yeah, once we open up the page to connect your wallet, then that will be possible. And then it's just the strategies that will be added on.
Yeah, actually, we can show how it can trade for me, like, yes, through X. And how it can make a transaction. So just like, I simply just like can send a tweet. Just, it's a live test, guys.
Right.
We hope to receive a successful result.
All right. Yeah.
Yeah. Just
usually, live demos smell fear. So I hope you're not being nervous.
Sure.
Is this similar to banker trading, or is this different, like trading over Twitter?
Yeah, I'd say like the thing we added that's that it supports like 60 chains.
64.
64.
Yeah.
So immediately it has cross chain swaps and bridging, and yeah, I guess we could say that's similar, but we'll be changing the approach towards this conditional trading. Like it won't be just limit orders, but rather there'll be another layer of conditions that you can execute the trades on. So yeah, that's what I would say I'm most excited
You're
about.
saying it's more complex and better in a nutshell.
Yeah, like it's mentioned previously. So just like based on the market analysis data, so it's like Okay, so tweet is launched, and let's check if we have an output. Okay.
Yeah, so there was a question. Explain how exactly AXBT got tricked into sending 55 ETH for someone. Any measures you guys are taking so it doesn't happen to you guys? So the way this SMC token is going to work is that it doesn't have its own let's say own wallet that it can just send the tokens out. Like when user mentions this SMC agent, so the tweet goes through like verification. We check from a couple of sources. Is this ID? Well, what is the ID of the user? And then if this ID matches with the wallet, and then there's like single time access token being issued to the agent to do the trade. So it won't be can be social engineered into sending funds on other people's behalf because it will not have the access to their wallet. Well, but yeah, it's actually been, I haven't seen that tweet, how it got engineered. Did you guys see, have you guys seen it?
Sorry, I missed a little bit. I was checking.
I meant the AIXBT. What was
It was pretty simple. Just like send me this money or something. Or
really?
Like prompt engineering.
Actually,
like
prompt.
It was actually just prompt engineering, if I remember correctly.
Okay. So remember, yeah, there was this also case where you had to, there was agent that had the price pool, and if you hack it, you get the price. So that took some advanced prompting to actually do that.
Yeah, I mean, that's one of the biggest risks, right? Like preventing hallucination of like AI in general.
So yeah, like there can be levels of security. So first, like you only should allow only this owner of the wallet to communicate with the agent. Then what else? If in case agent hallucinates, well, that's actually can be a risk. You know, you have maybe 10 ETH, and then you want to swap 10 ETH, and then it swaps 50 ETH or whatever.
Mm-hmm. Apparently, this is actually it was not a prompt engineering attack. I'm just saying it's a command injection. So yeah, they actually gained access to some dashboard through like some, I guess, like injecting faulty commands. Lily, you probably know more about this attack vector, but yeah, like I guess for someone who probably works in security, this is probably a really exciting space to try to. I don't know if there's something called like an audit standard yet for AI agents, but I'm guessing that'll be not too far off.
Kind of what's possible is just to add more layers to this security. Like what I've been also thinking is so to have like independent agent at the end that verifies like simulated transaction versus what user has requested. And then if anything happens in the middle that was unpredictable and that affected the simulated transaction, so yeah, that it could stop it. So in a way, yeah, we like when this technology advances, so do advance the issues, and probably, yeah, like there'll be a lot of new jobs in the near future that don't exist yet. Like
even like the Bybit hack with like Safe, it just like, I feel like these attacks are always going to exist. So it's like, maybe don't put all of your money into any wallet if it's like controlled by you or a smart agent. I feel like this is such a new technology still. So just like common sense is like, don't put all your money in one spot.
oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Basic safety measures, but we should always remember about them. Exactly. Yeah. Okay. So back to the question what was asked me. So guys, transaction is successful. You can check it on 0xSMC
Oh,
Twitter
really?
feed. Yeah, I can show it on my screen and phone. So basically, 0xSMC currently is possible to make swaps to 64 different chains.
See it. Where is it? Is it on replies?
No, it's like on another account, 0xSMC. Yeah, it's here. Yeah, just like yes, 5 minutes ago, this transaction.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, you can just
Oh, so it's from
yeah,
base
from base to optimism.
to optimism. All right.
Nice, congrats. Yeah, you guys do so much. I didn't even know this SMC thing
Yay.
existed.
Yeah, we've been
Things move so
cooking really
fast.
hard.
Nice.
Right.
Yeah.
And do we have anything here?
And thanks for the community. Actually, community just like fueled us with that energy. Every day they asked us what's next, what's planned, guys, what will be just like, and yeah, finally we release some useful information like called alpha probably, but yeah, yeah. But it's still a lot way of development in front of us right now. Yeah. So. Okay.
Oh, yeah. So I guess on that note, we could wrap things up. And I'm so grateful for you guys to joining the stream, and really excited how what new clankers will come out of Loomlay agents.
Very excited. Very nice to meet you guys.
Yeah.
Thanks for having us.
Appreciate you for joining, guys. Yeah,
thank you.
that's awesome.
Nice to meet
See
you. Adam.
you.
Nice
Yeah.
to see you guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Follow up
Take
in the
care.
chat.
Have a good rest of your week.
Yeah. Yeah. See you. Bye. Thanks, everyone.